Hello and welcome to the final episode of Inspiration. We had spoken to him on his birthday, and it was an interview where we had said, can you pull the IPL off? Can the board do it? Will you, as the head of the BCCI, sort of get cricket back on track by October? We were uncertain, but if you remember that interview, he had said he will leave no stone unturned to try and do the IPL, and he wanted to do it. Today, as we sit, final episode, 3 days to go for the final, he has pulled it off. His board has pulled it off. India has pulled it off. Must be giving you enormous joy and pride to have pulled this off.
Yeah, I think it was fantastic. The world needed sport. The world needed life to get back to normal, and I think the entire BCCI team, not just the office bearers, but the employees and the staff who actually work on the ground. They've been in Dubai for the last 2.5 months. Have pulled off a fantastic thing so far. The final's not finished yet, but with fingers crossed, I think we'll get past it, and I think it was required. It's important for BCCI because IPL is a huge asset for BCCI. So from that point of view, it's something which was well done.
Yeah, and Sourav Ganguly, to his credit, has also done the women's tournament. I mean, when you take a look at this man's administrative career over the last 1 year, it's been tough. I mean, COVID is a once in a 100-year phenomenon, and to do what his board has been able to do, not him but the team, has been quite phenomenal. Were you scared at any point? I mean, all of us were. If things go wrong, if something happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We did not know whether we would complete this tournament, because nobody knows what it is. There was never a bio bubble created in the past.
For 80 days.
Yeah, and we took a lot of I would say understanding from the way England hosted the series in England, West Indies, England and Pakistan, but still then this was a far more risk because it was bilateral, and here is about 300 people in Dubai, all in one place. Although the COVID numbers in Dubai were much lesser, but still you just needed one player to get, or one person of the group to get infected. It happened at the start with CSK.
I was about to ask.
So it was a bit of a scare for all of us, saying that whether this will go through. Jay and myself, we spoke multiple times, and he was also worried कि हमने तो कर लिया है, but आगे कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया तो क्या होगा. But luckily it's been good so far. I must congratulate the players. I've said this, and you said this during the interview. To be in a bio bubble for 80 days is unbelievable. I've been in and out in Dubai. I went at the start. The Chennai Super Kings were staying in the same hotel as we were doing, and it was completely different. I hardly saw anybody in the hotel lobby. Only at the time of going for practice and coming back from practice. Separate floors, separate lifts, separate people serving room service, laundry. It was unbelievable, and heartiest congratulations to all the players, each team, for making this successful, because without their discipline this would not have been successful.
Incredible. And now, Sourav, I've got to come to the tournament. I mean, the tournament as in the quality of cricket. This tournament just never ceases.
It's always been that. Right? It's always been that.
Yeah, but till the last day we did not know which four will make the playoffs. Has never happened. I mean, 12 points is the sort of the last team. It has never happened.
Yeah, but in the past also you would see that one odd team would leave it till the last game to get through, but this time it was 3 teams. That's why it is so special, and I say this because all the teams are evenly matched. There's no one ahead of the other. It's how you play on that particular day. Bombay might be a runaway success, but you see CSK turning up from nowhere and beating them. Rajasthan getting 194, just 2 wickets down to beat the stronger team in the competition. And that's why for the last 13 years it has been such a superb tournament. I tell people, I've been to Dubai and people have called me from all over the world saying that how good it has been. I said, yeah, it's been very good, but IPL belongs to India. You must see the atmosphere when it happens in India. It's unparalleled. Dubai was good, the games were good, we did good work for the TV, Star did good work for television, for the viewers from all over the world, not missing the fun, but you actually need to go to Eden Gardens, you actually need to go to Mumbai, you actually need to go to Chennai and Delhi to understand what the buzz is about IPL.
I'm a journalist, you've opened it up. Will you, if the cases are down, will you try your luck next year?
Yeah, that's always our priority. It has to be in India because it's unbelievable in India. You enter Eden Gardens, you see the lines from the Red Road. You know, you go to Delhi. I was involved with Delhi last year. You know, you could see the lines coming from a mile. People wanting to enter the ground, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 7 o'clock in the evening. Look at CSK. You know, it's a wave of yellow when CSK plays in Chennai. So it's a Mumbai. You know, you actually need to be in the stadium at the Wankhede to realize how big Mumbai Indians is to the Mumbai people. Every game, day in day out for 13 years. Somebody asked me, you know, when I first became president of CAB, that how was it hosting the IPL? I said, you know, we hosted 9 games that year, 7 group games of the Knight Riders and 2 knockout games. The last game had the biggest demand of tickets.
Because it's getting over.
Yeah, it's getting over. So people don't stop. People don't stop watching IPL, and it's a fantastic tournament. Touch wood. All those who have started it in the past for the board must get as much or probably more credit for making this tournament where it is.
But what you said, I mean, maybe come April of 21, fingers crossed, India might have the vaccine by then. Maybe you will not be able to get all crowd, but your priority still remains India. That's what you're saying. I mean, if that
always,
is
always, absolutely. I know India will go to Australia this winter, and what we have been told that crowds will be allowed into the grounds. They had the AFL final, which was about 30,000-40,000
yeah.
people watching. So it's like again England showing the way in the month of July when they played their first test on the 8th of July. People are slowly getting confidence. I think organizing this tournament without any hassle so far will give all of us a lot of confidence, and we can slowly take further more risk as time goes on.
Excellent, excellent news from any Indian cricket fan's perspective. Now to the players, Saurav. You mentioned the players. Look at the talent, and you've told me this 200 times. Look at the core of Indian talent, whether it's Devdutt Padikkal, whether it's Ishan Kishan, you can name them. Do you see yourself, at least the way you opened white ball batting in Devdutt Padikkal?
He's a very good talent. He's a very good talent, although T20 cricket is a first step of seeing how good he is. He got a lot of runs for Karnataka last year. I saw him play an innings at Eden Gardens in the Ranji Trophy semi-final on a tough wicket. Bengal beat Karnataka. And it did everything on that surface at Eden Gardens, and he was the only guy who got runs for Karnataka. And Karnataka was a strong side with KL Rahul and Karun Nair and Devdutt Padikkal. So he's got talent. He's got time when he plays fast bowling, and I think that is what you see in a young batsman when he comes at this young level. Let him go through a couple of seasons, because the second season will always be harder than the first one. And I think he's a good prospect for India. India wants openers. He opens, so hopefully he'll get his game right, get solid for the top level.
Because, you know, I was watching the internet, and I went back and checked some of his offside shots, and then I checked yours. And I was like, are we getting Saurav Ganguly too? Because he looks really good like you did.
Yeah, he's a good player. He stands tall, he hits through the line. He's good on the onside as well. He plays well on the back foot. So yes, I wish him luck. Young boy, he'll go through ups and downs. Hope he fights those periods and becomes a better player.
You know, now coming to the depth, I mean, look at the competition for one spot, Saurav. Take wicket keeping. I mean, we thought, okay, Rishabh Pant and, KL Rahul. Now Ishan Kishan, Sanju Samson, Riddhiman Saha. Everyone fight. That shows the kind of talent and depth Indian cricket has, which is great to see.
Absolutely. But, to be honest, wicket keepers for the long term, you only see Riddhiman Saha and Rishabh Pant at the moment, and some young keepers coming from the first class level. With Ishan Kishan, Sanju Samson, KL Rahul, T20 cricket, 50 over cricket. I'm not too still sure about 50 over cricket because that's a long time. You can only say that with time once these stopgap keepers keep keeping. But genuine keepers, Saha's glove work you've seen, he's done well with the bat for Sunrisers. Whatever little bit of opportunity he's got. I think Rishabh Pant is a very special talent. And they're all young, they'll only get better, all of them, they'll only get better, and as I said, this country will continue to keep producing players.
Now, just changing track a little bit, I mean, and this is something very core to my heart. Well done for pulling off the women's tournament. I mean, people said priority of the BCCI is only men's cricket. To be able to do this, create another bio bubble in the middle of the tournament, get the girls, get them all there, well done. I mean, tell me about that.
Yeah, India, I think we focus on every cricket, whether it's men's cricket, women's cricket, junior cricket, under 16 cricket, because infrastructure is very, very important, and every level of cricket needs to be looked at so that the team at the top becomes the best. And that's why India keep producing talent, because our under 19 structure and under 16 structure is also as good. Women's cricket all around the world has taken off. You see the women's final in Australia this year. They had 80,000 people at the MCG, which is as good as having a men's final. And India has done well. Were two back-to-back World Cup finals in England. They lost, and they lost at the MCG this year. So it's very important that we continue with the talent. It'll only get bigger. At the present moment, there is only 4 teams in the women's IPL, and I believe that in a couple of years' time, we are good enough to have a separate IPL with 7 teams, 8 teams, like the franchisee-based team for the women's as well.
That was my next question, Saurav. I mean, I've been speaking to a lot of these girls, whether it's Mithali, Jhulan, Smriti, and all of them. And the one question that they want to ask the president or want an answer for is that a priority? Do you really want, your vision is to do a full-fledged IPL? And what these girls have all, sort of the question that I see lurking around is, will they also get their bilateral series? Is that also a priority for the board?
Yeah, at the present moment, some of the other countries are not keen. We were supposed to go to Sri Lanka to play the bilateral, but obviously the Sri Lankan board are not keen to have cricket at the moment because of the health hazards and the COVID issues in their country. But yes, bilateral cricket will start. I was a little disappointed with the World Cup in New Zealand being postponed for a year. It would have been easily done, because New Zealand as a country, COVID cases are not there at all. But women's cricket is on the rise. It's up to the women to get better. Harmanpreet Kaur, Smriti, Shefali, Mithali has obviously been a legend for a long period of time. It's up to these young players to take the game forward, because I've always believed any sport will only go forward if the quality of that sport is the way upward. And I think women's cricket is on the way upward. We've seen for the last 3 or 4 years, India have consistently challenged the best, whether it was England in that World Cup, whether it was Australia in this World Cup. They have challenged the best, and hopefully they will win a World Cup very soon.
Fingers crossed for that. I mean, really, we need to break that jinx, whether it's men or women. Now coming to the next one, Saurav, you've done the IPL, but then you're sending your team to perhaps what is the marquee series of the year. I mean, from the bio bubble to another bio bubble. Tell me about that. Again, the Australian board is on record saying the BCCI was great when they coordinated with you all. So give me a little bit of the understanding of the backstage, what's going on there, and your thoughts on the Australia series. And now as a former cricketer, not simply as president.
Well, it'll be a great series. I've said, I gave an interview a couple of days ago, and I said India has got as much chances winning in Australia as Australia has. We have a good bowling attack. If we put runs up on the board, if we bat well, we should be there. We won last time when we visited Australia 2 years ago. Yes, people are saying there was no Smith, there was no Warner. Yeah, it's fine. They are not the same side, but I think even this team is capable of beating the best Australian team. It'll be a great series with the white ball cricket starting, and then the day-night test in Adelaide, which I'm looking forward. I don't know whether I'll be able to go there or not, because the 14-day quarantine is too long. It's too long, but Australia is looking forward. I'm told that they'll have crowd for the Boxing Day and the New Year's test this time. It's a great place to play cricket, Australia. And I'm happy that the tour is going on. Australia, England, South Africa, West Indies are great places to tour, to play the sport. And yes, there will be a little bit of quarantine issues early on, but it's not as tough as the IPL, because the Australian government is a bit more relaxed than what the Indian government or the government in Dubai was, because the COVID cases there are very negligible. So it will not be as tough for the players. I'm sure they'll be able to go out and go for their meals and dinners and walk around the Yarra River at the MCG or on that park in Sydney and have a breath of fresh air. So it's going to be a great series, and I know that the players are looking forward to it.
And you've said at least you want the families to travel, which will be excellent if they are able to have companionship, because they are staying so many months away from family.
And I think that will happen. That will happen. In the past also, families have travelled with the players. I don't see any problem in that, and I'm sure it's going to happen this time as well.
Sort of now to the critical one. I mean, one has to ask you this. And it's a batsman's take. The whole country wants to know your thoughts on Rohit Sharma. Can he make it? Because red ball cricket more for me than white ball, because that test series for me is the marquee series. As a batsman, from what you know, can Rohit Sharma still be available?
Hope so. He's got a hamstring tear. That's what been reported by the physio from the national team and also the Mumbai Indian physio. But he's a batsman. He's not a fast bowler. We want him to recover because he's an asset for India. He along with Virat makes the side even stronger. I don't know whether he'll be fit straight away for the white ball cricket, but fingers crossed, both him and Ishant Sharma. Ishant Sharma would definitely be, and we're looking forward to Rohit Sharma being fit for those 4 test matches, because when you go to Australia, you look forward to those test matches. When you go to England, you play white ball cricket, you play T20 cricket, but it's the test match at Lord's, it's the test match at the Oval, and it's the same thing in Australia. It's the Boxing Day test, it's the New Year's test, and now it's the pink test, day-night test. So these are landmarks in cricketing history. You want to finish your career with 100 at Lord's, you want to finish your career with 100 at the Boxing Day test or a pink test, and I think these will always remain. So I am looking forward to the test series. I know we talk about one-day cricket, we talk about T20 cricket filling up the stands, but for me this series will be those 4 test matches. So
I remember you mentioned to me that this is a milestone series. These were your words, not mine, that the India-Australia test series is a milestone series. You would want your best men. You've played this game, 115 test matches. With what you've heard as president, you must be knowing, would you think that we can get Rohit?
As I said, I hope so. I will not be able to pinpoint it. You will get a clearer picture in the next 7-8 days. Mumbai Indians are still due to play some matches in the IPL. If he turns up,
is that a fitness test? I mean, if he turns up, for example?
Yeah, to an extent, yes. But if he has a tear, which has been reported by both the physios, it will not be easy for him to come back straight away. Because especially now, a month later, yes.
So red ball, there is a definite chance.
Definitely there is a chance if he gets fit, and because I've seen it as a cricketer, I've experienced it as a captain. Your fast bowlers at times have come and said, my hamstring's fine, my quadriceps is fine, I've bowled in the nets. But that match pressure and the match tension, the match nervousness is different. It actually makes your injury a bit more susceptible. Fingers crossed, you want Rohit Sharma to play because he's a tremendous player. We'll wait and see. What
and happens. Ishant, you're confident, you said?
Yeah, Ishant is not that serious. The NCA is monitoring him. Dravid at the NCA is monitoring him. They're working on his fitness. He will be back to bowling on the 18th of November, which is not far, and the test match is 17th December, which is a month away from that. But BCCI has come out with this new rule that for a fast bowler, if you're going back to test cricket after an injury, you have to play a 4-day game and prove your fitness before you play a test.
But where does he get that?
He gets 2 4-day games before the test.
As in
in Australia.
But there will be quarantine issues there. So will he travel and?
Yeah, he'll travel. Okay. We'll make logistics. We'll get it done. We're just waiting for the report of the physio and Dravid and the NCA physio to say that he's ready to go. See, all must understand. The biggest job of everyone, whether it's the board president, whether it's Dravid, the NCA head, or Ravi Shastri, or Virat Kohli, or the physios, is to get players on the park,
correct,
not off the park, and that's what our job is. He may be injured now. If he recovers 7 days later, he plays if he's good enough to play. So there is no hard and fast rule. I see a lot of reports going on. What's the hurry? Why has he been picked now? Why has he not been picked now? Why somebody else? It doesn't matter. If your best player is fit, he goes and plays.
Saurav, we've got a new vice captain. I mean, how impressed have you been with KL Rahul?
Yeah, IPL has been remarkable.
And because of white ball. That's why I asked this question.
Yeah,
that not for
remarkable. Yeah. Even in New Zealand last year, he played very well. Very well. I still have time for him in test matches, and I'm saying that as a cricketer. At the end of the day, it's the selectors who decide who plays and who doesn't play. But just somebody who's played the game and watched him from outside, I still feel he'll contribute in all forms of the game, and I wish him all the luck, and hopefully he contributes to the winning cause of India, which is important because this is a good side and everyone has to get together to beat Australia in Australia.
If I look at the bowling attack, I mean the way Bumrah started the IPL, the way he's finishing the IPL, Shami, and you said Ishant should be fit. Now that's quality. That's real quality.
Yes, it's quality. There's Navdeep Saini also, I think, who has improved enormously than what we saw last year. He bowls at a good pace, good length. So India has the attack. It's about Virat, and I'm saying this as a player and not as a BCCI president. It's about Virat just working with them and getting them to be at their best. It's for him to decide as a captain who he wants to attack with, who he wants to defend with, at which stage of the game he attacks with an Ashwin or a Bumrah or a Saini or a Sharma or a Jadeja. It's his captaincy skill. So he has got the attack, he's got the batting. Opening will be very important. And when you go to England, when you go to Australia, when you go to South Africa, the first 20 overs are very important. You need a Mayank Agarwal or a Rohit Sharma or a Prithvi Shaw to guts that period. There'll be edges, there'll be the ball decking around, and once the 20 over gets past, it's a different game. And that's where test matches are won and test matches are lost. And that's why I've said, Virender Sehwag is one of the great all-time greats for Indian cricket, because in my generation, he just took the new ball apart with Dravid at 3. It was a great combination to win test matches. And I think an Agarwal, Prithvi Shaw or a Rohit Sharma has probably got to do that for Virat Kohli. You don't want to see a Kohli and a Rahane every time at 15 for 2, with the ball still being new, and a Cummins or a Stark or a Hazelwood at its best with the new ball. India has won in Adelaide in 2003, in 2018 when they visited. So India has an history of winning in Adelaide. The first test match starts in Adelaide. So you play well, you will get on the right side of the series.
And stakes for Virat could not have been higher. I mean, he's defending this time. He's won in Australia before. Yeah. As skipper, we keep saying that's your legacy is Australia, England, taking India to the final. So will be for captain Virat Kohli. Stakes couldn't be higher.
Yeah, and he must sit back and understand that he's got to play better away from home. Yes, Australia was a good series which they won, but they should have done better in England, New Zealand, South Africa in test matches, and they're a capable side. They must have learned from that, and everyone has to bat well. You lost in England because you didn't get test match hundreds other than Virat Kohli and Pujara. You won in Australia because Pujara got you 500 runs, 300s. Virat got 100. Rishabh Pant got 100. Rahane got scores 70. Of 60, 70, 80s. That's the only way you're going to win series. So hopefully they'll fight hard, buckle down, because Australia will be a good attack with Cummings and Stark and Hazelwood and Nathan Lyon. In those conditions, they'll be a good attack. So it'll be a good series.
To finish off, Saurav, coming back to the IPL, what makes the IPL? Is it that India wins every day? That's why we consume it every day, unlike a World Cup, West Indies, Afghanistan, yes, we'll watch, but it's not India playing. Is it because whichever team, and it's not Mumbai or Kolkata for me, it's India will win. Is that what ticks? Is it the quality of cricket? Is it what? Because this tournament has this zing to galvanize the country.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the quality of cricket. It's the madness about cricket in this country. The fans who actually make it successful, and the competition. You see the quality of players. You go around the leagues in the world, and I respect them, and I don't say that with disrespect. Yeah, this is different. This is you see a Pollard. You see a Pollard turning up in the Caribbean Premier League and see a Pollard turning up in the IPL. It's two different kettle of fish. His captaincy has been outstanding for Mumbai without Rohit Sharma. You see a De Villiers at this age. You just see the competition. The owners are obsessed with their teams. They are just obsessed with the IPL team. I remember when this COVID was going on, and I used to get calls from the owners. We must do IPL, and how can IPL not happen? I said, yeah, but we have to look at the coronavirus as well. He said, no, everything will be fine, but IPL has to happen. We'll die without cricket. So it's that intensity which is.
And you've got another one 6 months down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. April, May, we'll have another one.
And you have been on record saying you want to, because we've also got the England series, that Ahmedabad can host the pink ball test. So that's a thought, because there was a report, media reports that you've done some whatever with the UAE cricket board, etc. But your priority is still India.
No, it's not true. The UAE was only for the IPL.
So it's
we will host England in India. We will host the domestic cricket in India. The Ranji
that was
Trophy.
My final point.
Ranji Trophy. We'll create bubbles and we'll do it.
Saurav Ganguly, you're making some real strong points. I mean,
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. ISL starting in November in Goa. I think we'll be fine. That scare is not there anymore, and IPL has helped a lot.
How many tests have you done?
16. 16 tests. 16 COVID tests. So far being good.
Touch wood, touch everything. 16 COVID tests. India doesn't need him to do more. All India needs him is healthy, happy, hearty, because this cricket board is important. This man is important for our sport. This man is important for world sport. One final question. You've pulled it off now. Yes, 2 days for the final. You've pulled it off. Will you have a celebratory drink for yourself and say with your board saying, you've done it, or what's the deal?
We'll see once the final finishes. I have got to work very hard to get Jay drink. He doesn't drink at all. I don't drink at all, but we'll see.
We'll see. And we in Indian cricket will see, because as I have said this in Inspiration in the past on his birthday, he's good for cricket. You know, as a cricketer who's got 100 test matches plus so many thousand runs, so many victories, he's good for cricket. And under him, India will be good in cricket. We know that. He's pulled off the IPL, sending the team to Australia, women's cricket, England, next IPL. You're good for the sport. You're good for the sport. I mean, remain the way you are. And I'm delighted personally because he'd promised, I'd promised you all that we'll get him back for the final episode of Inspiration. And this is something I've got to say on record. Never has he turned down a request from me. It's something I cherish. Thank you very much, Sourav Ganguly. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.